Page 46, Blues Ending. This is the last piece in the book. Congratulations if you've made it this far. Well done. If you're struggling, okay, I would encourage you to go through the book again, at least from page 10 on. Wherever it is you started struggling, go back and do that again, all right? These books are intended to be done more than once if you don't have a teacher. Just do them 2 or 3 times. You will pick up stuff you didn't get the first time. You know, do the videos again. You will get stuff you didn't get the first time, or stuff you've forgotten. Oh yeah, he said that, I forgot. In this piece, it's in C major, and you're starting out in C position. You're not going to stay there, but you're starting there. This is a blues style piece. And if you're going to play in blues style, there's a couple of things you need to know, okay? Blues, and it can be jazz and swing and some other things. I'm talking blues here. They make a lot of use of those 3 primary chords I talked about in an earlier video. The 1, 4, and the 5, 7 chords. If you look at this, in C major, your 1 chord is the C chord, the 4 chord is the F chord, and the 5, 7 chord is the G7 chord. Okay? In this, you'll see at the beginning it starts with a C chord. You get 4 measures of that. Then you get 4 measures of F chord. Then in the last line you get 1 measure C, 1 measure G7, and then it finishes up with C. And in this case, in the very end, it ends with a C7 as an atmosphere thing. Just so you know, the chords are there. Okay, in a blues style, generally you're going to get those. Now, the only other thing in a blues style you need to know, and I don't know if they pointed this out or not, I will point it out anyway, because it's kind of important. If you're going to play music in different styles, learn how to play that style. This is not classical music. Blues is not classical music. It's not played the same way. And that is on 8th notes. And you see them. You've got 2 8th notes in the second measure in the right hand. And there's 2 8th notes in the second line there. And then at the end, that last measure has 2 8th notes in it. In a blues, well, actually it's blues, swing, and jazz. It doesn't matter. But right now, blues. We swing the 8th notes. We don't play even 8th notes. If they want even 8th notes, they have to put a note in the music even. Okay? It's the style of the music to swing the 8th notes. So if I were just, forget the music here, and if I just take a C 5-finger position, and I play them as 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? That would be like a even 8th notes. Okay, but in a blues style, you swing them, you do that. It's a long, short, long, short, long, okay? You say, well, why don't they write the music that way? And the answer is they can't, because you have to feel this, okay? It's not an exact rhythm thing, it's a felt thing. So in these, when you play that second measure in the right hand, swing those 8th notes, okay? And the last measure at the end, that's pretty much it. The only other tricky thing in here, other than you're moving your hands around, the right hand's moving around. The left hand's staying pretty much where it is. But in the first line, the right hand's in C position. In the second line, the right hand's in F position up here. So you may have to practice that so you can get up there fairly quickly. Don't jerk it. Because there's no rest or anything, all right? It's just get up there. And then when you go to the third line, you got to go back down to the C position. So you're here and you're here. So what I do when I do this is I use a finger, some finger, and I aim that finger. And the rest of the fingers go along for the ride. So in this case, I can use the thumb. And I go to the F. At the end of the first line, you're using your thumb, you're playing your thumb. What you can do in this piece to make it easier for you, rather than quickly moving it up, that's jerky and it's hard to do. It's not the recommended method if you can help it. Is because at the last measure, the first line, the right hand's playing a C. First measure of the next line, you're playing a C an octave higher, this C. All you got to do is just stretch your hand out and get the C, and then after you play the C, you can clap your hand. We've used this before, all right? It's a good way to change hand positions, right? Rather than trying to move the whole hand up. Going back down here is a little trickier because it's not an octave. You're playing an F, the last note on the second line. In the right hand, you're playing an F. Then the first note in the third line, you're playing a G with your little finger. Now you can scratch your hand up and do that, and that's a good way to do it. And it's safer than trying to move the hand down real quick. We do this a lot in piano, where we'll scratch the hand or spread the hand to help us move around. Not a bad idea. Look at the last line. In the first measure, in the right hand. First measure is here, then the D sharp, then the F. That F is tied, right? So you're not going to play the second one, you're going to hang on. And then you have a C sharp. Well, you could play the C sharp with the thumb, but it's a little awkward because the thumb is a short finger. So to play a black note on the thumb with the thumb, you have to move the hand up into the black note area near the fall board. The fall board is this board over the keys that comes down. Okay, that's the fall board. So you have to move the hand up so the thumb can reach the black note. And you can do that, there's nothing wrong with it, but the preferred method, what I certainly prefer, is if we can, we don't use the thumb on a black key unless we have to. So here we don't have to, and they're suggesting it. Use the second finger on the C sharp. You just reach down a little bit. And then for the next measure, reach up with your little finger to get the G. You thought I was done. I ain't done. The last measure in the right hand. You've been in this position, and then you want to do those eighth notes, and they're saying second finger on that G. So you're moving your hand out to reach the G, and the reason they're doing second finger is so they're not using the little finger on a black note. The little finger is a short finger too. You could play the G with your third finger. You don't have to reach as far. But you got to move your hand a little bit in toward the fall board so your little finger can play that. It's safer. Go ahead and do it the way they're suggesting with the second hand. Yeah. Try it both ways and see what you think. You can experiment with this fingering stuff. When they put fingerings on here, they're suggestions. They're not the rule. They're not the law. You don't have to do it that way. If you had a teacher, they would probably insist on certain fingerings. Okay, but when you don't have a teacher, or your teacher ain't around and your teacher isn't going to be watching you, or experiment. I will teach you my style as we go through these books. And if that like it, good. If not, that's fine. Use a different one. I don't care. So I'm just going to explain one little thing. I hope the background noise isn't too bad. They're sort of pointing it out in the counting for the third and fourth measures of the first two lines. It's the rhythm. 4 beats in the measure. So in the right hand, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4 tie, 2, 3, 4. Now if the rhythm is confusing you and you're not getting it, temporarily take out the tie and just play all the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once you get that rhythm, put the tie back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then put the hands together, because the left hand's just got half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll get it. You work it out slowly like that, you'll get it. Let's play this together. 4/4 time. I'll give us 4 counts and we'll play it. In a blues style, which means we're going to swing the eighth notes. Right. So here are the hands where the hands go. 1, 2, ready, go. do the duet. Okay, here we go. 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go.